Hi, Bret Bushman here with Security Home Mortgage and my fourth edition of my Mortgage Minute that ends up being a few minutes long. I hope that's okay. Rates remain to be amazing with conventional and FHA. As you have probably heard, all non-QM, non-qualifying programs have pretty much disappeared. So there's not bank statement loans right now or loans for people without social security numbers, or some of the programs that were kind of unique, unfortunately, have been suspended. FHA loans are starting to mellow out and get a little bit normal, which is nice. A few weeks ago, as you know, in an in mortgage in general, rate and fee is a little bit of a seesaw. So you can buy down the rate, pay more fees, and get a better rate, or have a higher interest rate and not pay any fees. It's kind of a seesaw, but this kind of weird anomaly happened with FHA loans. I want to explain why, because what was happening is you get a decent rate on an FHA loan, but the only option to even get a loan at all was to pay sometimes up to 3 points or 3%. So on a $300,000 home, all of a sudden that's a $9,000 fee on top of whatever the other loan costs are, appraisal, title, and everything. So steep. And there wasn't even the option of, well, I'll pay a higher rate to bring those fees down. It wasn't even an option. That has seemed to normalize. The rates are back down for normal rates and fees that have been around forever. So that's really nice. Things seem to be getting more normal. Rates are down in the low threes, even especially like on a 15-year, down in the twos. So still really, really great on the rates. So I want to talk just for a minute about front end and back end debt to income, DTI, debt to income ratio. That's one difference still with the FHA loans. They're still being a little picky. They want credit scores above 680, whereas usually you could go down to 620 and sometimes even lower on an FHA. They're holding right now at wanting about 680. We've heard talk of it going to 660, and I'm sure over time it'll go back down to normal, but 680. The other is debt to income ratio. The back end, they call it debt to income ratio, which is all of your debt payments, the home, credit cards, car loans, student loans, not utilities, not those type of things, just actual debt payments. Those are all counted against you and off your gross income. So if your gross income is $1,000 and you have $500 in payments, you're at a 50% debt to income. Right now, FHA is holding about 50%. It used to go all the way up to 55%. Conventional is usually more like 45%. So again, FHA is usually where we would send people that had higher debt to income and a little bit lower credit, but right now they're holding higher standards. So just remember that. We're finding more and more people that maybe would have gone FHA a month or 2 or 3 ago. We're fitting them into conventional programs, which are great. Mortgage insurance will drop off eventually. A lot of pros to that if we can get them to qualify. So anyway, enough about all that. That's what's going on in the mortgage world. As far as what's been going on with me, I've been wasting or spending my time, free time that I have, spending a lot of time outside. In fact, here's a little video of my daughter. She's 25 and several years ago bought this turtle. When she originally bought it, it could fit right in the palm of her hand. Now you can see probably take up your whole lap if it was sitting on your lap. Eventually it will be so big you won't even be able to put your arms around it. It's a desert tortoise and will live to be over 100 years old. So got that in my house, which is great. Also went out boating for the very first time this year. Here's a photo. I took kind of a selfie in the mirror trying to get the surfer behind me, but my face cuts most of the surfer off. But that was fun just to get out. My son Wyatt, who's home from a mission in the Philippines right now, invited a few friends, and it was great to be back out on the water in the sun. Then lastly, you're hearing in the background right now a clip of a song called Seasons by Chris Cornell. Chris Cornell, if you don't know who he is, played and sang for several bands, Soundgarden maybe being the most famous. Killed himself, unfortunately, a few months ago, really sad, and I've always loved this song. I first discovered it was on the soundtrack to a movie called Singles back in the early 90s, and I've always loved this song and wanted to learn it. I play guitar, but you have to tune the whole guitar. Every single string has to be tuned different than a normal tuning to play this song. So I finally went through, so I'm just gonna play you the little intro. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole thing, but here's Seasons by Chris Cornell on my guitar that is now tuned and can't play any other song but this song. So. Hopefully that sounds kind of like what you were listening to before. Hey, thanks for everything. Appreciate your friendship and doing business with you. Hope you have a great week. We'll talk soon. Thanks.